You know those people who almost never post pictures of themselves anymore? No selfies, no vacation photos, no random life updates every weekend. You open their Instagram and it's either completely empty or the last post was from like 3 years ago. And somehow everyone knows someone like this. Honestly, I've noticed these people usually move differently. They're there, they're living their lives, they go out, they have relationships, they travel, but they don't feel the need to constantly prove it online. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is posting everything. And at some point, you start wondering, why do some people slowly disappear from social media while everyone else becomes more addicted to attention? And maybe the weirdest part is, a lot of these people don't even seem unhappy without the attention. Have you ever noticed how social media quietly trains people to seek approval for almost everything? You post a photo, then suddenly you care how many people liked it. You upload a story, then keep checking who viewed it. Sometimes a post does well and your mood goes up. Sometimes it gets ignored and weirdly your confidence drops a little too. Most people don't even realize this is happening because after a while, validation stops feeling optional. It starts feeling normal. At some point, attention stops feeling like a bonus and starts feeling necessary. And they think that's why some people slowly stop posting themselves online altogether. Not because they hate social media, not because they're antisocial, but because they get tired of feeling emotionally tied to other people's reactions. The people who rarely post their photos often seem less dependent on constant recognition from strangers online. They don't need to keep proving that their life matters in order to enjoy living it. And once someone reaches that point, they usually start valuing something else more than attention: privacy. Have you ever met someone who had an amazing life, but almost nobody online knew about it? They travel quietly. They fall in love quietly. They accomplish things quietly. And somehow that feels rare now, because social media has slowly convinced people that experiences only feel meaningful once they're shared publicly, like a moment isn't fully real until other people see it too. But some people just don't think that way anymore. Personally, I think a lot of emotionally healthy people have started realizing that not every good moment needs an audience. Some memories actually feel more valuable when they stay private. And privacy isn't always hiding. Sometimes it's about protecting the emotional quality of your life from outside opinions, comparisons, and unnecessary attention. Because the moment everything becomes public, it also becomes vulnerable to judgment. And after a while, constantly thinking about how your life looks online can become exhausting. That's when social media stops feeling like self-expression and starts feeling like performance. And I think this is the part most people don't talk about enough. Social media doesn't just encourage people to share their lives anymore. It quietly pressures people to perform their lives. You can see it everywhere. People retaking the same photo 20 times, pretending to laugh or candid pictures, recording concerts instead of actually watching them, going somewhere beautiful, only to spend half the time thinking about what to post from it. At some point, experiences stop feeling fully lived. They start feeling edited. And personally, I think a lot of people are emotionally exhausted from constantly viewing their lives from the perspective of an audience. Even when nobody says it out loud, there's this invisible pressure to look happy, attractive, successful, interesting, productive, all the time. Because once you post something online, you're no longer just living your life. You're managing an image of your life. And the exhausting part is that the performance never really ends. You have to maintain it, update it, protect it, keep people interested in it. That's why some people slowly stop posting themselves altogether, not because they disappeared from real life, but because they got tired of turning every real moment into something consumable. And once someone steps away from that cycle, they often start experiencing life differently again, more quietly, more privately, and strangely, more genuinely. Because when you stop constantly thinking about how a moment looks online, you finally get to experience how it actually feels. One thing I've noticed about people who stop posting their lives online is that they often seem more present in the moment. They go places without needing to document everything. They enjoy conversations without reaching for their phones every few minutes. They experience things without constantly thinking about how those moments will look to other people later. And honestly, that feels rare now, because a lot of people aren't just living experiences anymore. They're mentally preparing those experiences to become content. Personally, I think social media has made many people feel like every meaningful moment needs to be captured, uploaded, and validated before it feels real. But when someone steps away from that mindset, life starts feeling simpler again, more direct, more personal, more peaceful. And maybe that's why many people who stop posting eventually seem calmer than everyone else around them, because they're finally experiencing life for themselves instead of for an audience. But even then, there's another reason many people slowly disappear online. They get tired of comparison. I think one of the most emotionally exhausting parts of social media is that it quietly turns everyday life into a competition. You open your phone for a few minutes, and suddenly it feels like everyone is ahead of you. Someone's traveling more, someone looks happier, someone has a better relationship, a better body, a better lifestyle. And even when you know those posts are carefully curated, your brain still compares. That's the dangerous part. Personally, I think a lot of people don't realize how much anxiety comes from constantly consuming other people's highlight reels every single day. Because after a while, social media stops feeling inspiring. It starts making ordinary life feel inadequate. And for some people, stepping away from posting isn't really about privacy anymore. It's about protecting their peace. They get tired of feeling like they're competing in a game that never ends. A game where everyone is constantly trying to look happier, more successful, more interesting than they really are. So they slowly disappear from the performance altogether. But at the same time, not everyone stops posting for healthy reasons. Sometimes the silence comes from something deeper too. But to be fair, not everyone disappears from social media because they found inner peace. Sometimes people stop posting because they're insecure, because they're afraid of judgment, because they don't feel attractive enough, successful enough, or interesting enough to be seen. And I think that's important to acknowledge too. Not posting online can come from confidence, but it can also come from emotional exhaustion, anxiety, or low self-esteem. Sometimes silence is freedom, and sometimes it's self-protection. But either way, I think it says something important about the world we live in now, a world where so many people feel pressured to constantly present themselves to others. Which raises a bigger question. What happens to people when they stop needing an audience altogether? Maybe the real reason some people stop posting their photos online has nothing to do with being antisocial, boring, or disconnected from the world. Maybe they simply got tired of turning their lives into something that always needed to be seen. Because after a while, constantly seeking attention, validation, and approval can become emotionally exhausting. And there's something deeply peaceful about being able to enjoy your life without feeling the need to prove that you're enjoying it. In a world where almost everyone is trying to be noticed, choosing privacy almost feels rebellious now. And maybe some of the happiest moments people experience are the ones that never get posted at all. If this video resonated with you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more psychology and self-awareness content like this. And thank you for watching.